Hello everyone. I thought I'd jump on just quickly to fulfill a promise that I said I would do about having a little chat and discussion about twin flames and soulmates, to bring some clarity hopefully to you, and certainly some new information I think for many. But the reason I put the post up the other day, which I absolutely love because it's so true, we don't often realise where our soulmates are and who they are. And we often get locked in, I feel, to this old spiritual belief or this momentum. It's not necessarily a belief, but we've got caught up again from a lower ego perspective, a 3D perspective, of the need to find a soulmate, the need to find our twin flame. Where are they? Who are they? We're incomplete without them. This is our purpose, our mission now. Are we with the right person? Is this my soulmate? How will I know? All these questions, there's a lot of stuff out there about it. And I think each one of us at some point, as a soul, we have to, and we are conscious on some level that we've thought this, or, even asked those questions of ourselves at times. I know that in my early opening days and awakening days, it was very much, well, who I should be with these people, I should be with this person, because if I'm not, then I'm not becoming complete, I'm not becoming whole and unified, and I can't ascend, I can't do whatever I'm meant to do and become, the absolute in the eyes of the Creator, Source or God. So today I kind of want to strip a lot of this stuff away and make it really real, and give you some information that you can use, and hopefully it will resonate here and make sense to you, okay? So there are a few numbers, there are a few and I'm going to show some diagrams that I have drawn for you. They're very rough because that's, I'm not an artist, so be it. But with that in mind, and the numbers again, it's very specific, and we kind of need to understand this too, that we often think of our life as just our life, and that when we pass over, what does happen to us, is there the afterlife? Are we going to continue? Many of us know that's true. Some may still have some kind of doubt, that unknown quantity or fear attached. But, the reality is that there is this incredible intelligence from the highest point of consciousness that is our source, our galactic creator, our amazing God. Again, whatever name you give it, it just doesn't matter. Let's pull out of that stuff as well. But we've originated from a starry home. We are all from the stars, and we are from a galactic home that we have come from specifically, which again hopefully will make a little bit more sense to you. But in that line of numbers, spirit, in that incredible divine intelligence that it is very specific, and I've often said it, it's very specific in its numbers, in its mathematics, in its geometry, in everything. There is nothing random with spirit. So again, this aspect of you as a soul, your soul mate, your soul group, is again very, very specific, okay? So, first question really is to ask, is there a twin flame? Is there a twin soul? Do each one of us have one? Yes, we do. Absolutely. There is one twin flame or soul, interchangeable in the name, again it doesn't matter, don't get caught up in this ego, that we have originated from. We are one, and when we come back together as one, and often it's not going to be in this lifetime, okay, so let's just be aware of that. You may not. It isn't set in concrete. It may be 2 lifetimes before you meet again, energetically speaking, okay? But yes, every single one of us has the twin. Now, can I also say here that just because you're in female or male form doesn't mean your twin flame is going to be the opposite to you, as in female to male, male to female, okay? Again, this is where we get caught up in the partnerships, that we're looking again to be completed by something. Be very aware of these intentions that you're putting out, because if you're coming from need, if you're thinking you need this being to fulfill you in the physical sense, and many are looking at a physical sense for the lover, for the partner. Have I married the wrong person? Am I with the wrong person? That was an interrupted phone call. Sorry about that. Usually Spirit looks after that. if we're coming from that sense and that purpose and intention, then we're really coming from an ego base again. So be very aware, okay? You will eventually meet with your twin soul. As I said, is it in this lifetime? No, not necessarily. Now, with the twin flame, we've just discussed, yes, you have one. Do you have soulmates, high soulmates, near twin flames? Are there soulmates? You are part of a massive group of souls. Now, this is where I want to kind of try and get a little bit more specific so that you understand exactly what this whole game, the purpose, the plan is about. So as I said, we've all descended from our starry, beautiful galactic homes. And within that galaxy, and we are aligned to certain areas, there are 9 galaxies that in total are available that most of us have come from. Such names such as Sirius, you've probably heard of, Pleiades, Arcturus, Orion, some that you might not have heard of, Andromeda, another big one. And I wrote down these names because I'm not terribly familiar with them, so I don't feel that resonance, so I feel that I am not aligned to these. Aphila, Vega, Apollonia, and Maldek. So they're the names of the galaxies that the majority, if not all of us souls here on planet Earth right now, have evolved from. So we're not necessarily from the same place to begin with, okay? And at that galactic sense, we are resonant with certain energies, understandings, spiritual evolutions of consciousness that we've arrived to. This is how we've become a galactic home, or a galactic oneness. And this is of thought and of heart evolution, okay? So I'm going to keep this as simple as I can. Within each galaxy, all right, now this is where we're going. I do want to get a little specific. Within each galaxy, there are what are called monads, okay? There are 144,000 monads per galaxy. All right, now this number of 144 is absolutely paramount. Now, it is 144, you may see written in many aspects of 144,000 voices that came together to move into the new age on the 12th or the 21st of the 12th, 2012. That was specifically 144,000 souls awakened enough to bring in the new age. 144 is a number that you will see often utilized in texts and in spiritual teaching. 144 revolutions per second is the amount that your soul is spinning. Okay, so if you think of your soul, your heart space spinning at 144 revolutions a second, that's how fast you're turning. So it's pretty rapid, and that's what we're raising our frequencies to match again. Okay, so this number 144 is absolutely vital. As you add those numbers up, it is a number 9. Okay, 9 is completion. 9 is basically an evolved human. Also, this 144. Okay, so within each monad, though, and this is where I'm going to bring in the diagram. Within each monad, as I said, there is 144,000 monads per galaxy. So the monad, and we each individually have a monad, okay? So the monad aspect of you, because we are all connected and we are just an extension of who we really are now. The monad is like you might have heard me say many times, or others written, however, your mighty I am presence, okay? The monad is the direct derivative, the stream, the consciousness, the extension of source itself, okay? So it's very highly evolved. It's in complete direct communication with source, absolutely, and that's how we are all connected through these streams, okay? Now, let's get down into the part of who you really are and your soulmate twin flame family. Now, within each monad, as I said, think of the monad as the top of the tree, or top of this sort of circular space. There are 12 branches that descend from the monad, okay? Now, these 12 branches are what we would call your oversouls. They are the next level down of extremely high frequency, still in communication through the high monad into source itself, and part of that whole matrix of incredible knowledge, energy, wisdom, and light and sound. Okay? Now, this is where it starts to get interesting. So, and I'm going to show you the diagram in a minute. As we said, we have now a circular base, imagine, with these 12 arms going back up to our monad. On each of the circle, think of it like a clock. And on that clock, you have like the stations of the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so you have now 12 oversouls underneath the monad. Now what happens after that is each oversoul, so each of the 12 oversouls, then splits into 6 distinct next soul groups. So there are 6 souls now per oversoul. Now these 6 are the twin flame groups. Okay, so I'm going to show you this diagram now. I hope you can see it and it makes sense. Okay, so can you see what I was saying? Here is your monad, and there are the 12 branches descending from the monad. This monad, as I said, I haven't drawn it, but it's connected up to source here. You then have, there's the clock face I was talking about with the 12 oversouls around the base. And remembering all energy is spiral, which is why it's circular. Okay, and I've written 12 oversouls there, but I don't know if you can see that. Okay, now, within each of these oversouls, you have the subset of the 6 arms, the extensions, that then become the twin flame group of souls. So each of these divides into 6 all the way around. Okay, so 6 12s, we've got 72 then souls of this particular group. All right, that's at the high level. So already we've got 72 members of our family at that level. All right, so what happens then is that when we put our hands up to come down to earth, okay, and we said, yep, send us down as that twin flame, and at that time we are still complete as a twin flame subset. So we're one of the 6, okay? We haven't done anything. We're together, we're in harmony, we're amazing, we're light, we're fully connected, we're still connected to source right through the oversoul, through the monad and up to source. We haven't disconnected. But then we decided that we're going to come down and have this game called Earth, which is truly an ascension game. All right, the reason we've chosen to come to Earth is simply to play the game of ascension. And what that means is we chose to descend in through matter, deep down into 3-dimensional matter, 3D, and we've come from any dimension above that, depending again where our galactic home and the vibration they hold is. So as we've descended though, we have chosen as this game in Ascension that we want to experience as a species the density, the darkness, all the stuff that's attributed to that, with the aim, as we know, to eventually find the light, discover and remember, and we chose to forget, right? And even in our other lifetimes, we've also chosen, or we may have chosen on the way down, to have implants, to have devices placed in our being as part of our game. We chose this to interfere with our remembering. Because some of us really wanted to do the tricky road, and that's the way it is for the soul, because when you really work it all out for yourself and you evolve, you really expand your soul's frequency. So as you can see, as we're all connected in this group, whoever heals, whoever awakens, whoever does their work, whoever is always trying to align and remember to the highest truth, you are doing that for the whole of your group. Okay, so it doesn't matter if some are awake or not. As you choose to accelerate, as you choose to gain in your wisdom and keep aligning to the highest source of all, you are raising the vibrations for every soul within your soul family of light group. And this is what we're talking about, your soul family, your light family. So what happens as you're descending is, as you're getting close to 3D, and this is where we have sometimes the memory of pain or separation, we then, from our twin, and we're whole, we split. So then we become a male-female aspect of the whole. And we will choose which one we're going to play. We will choose the roles. We've made the agreements. We've made the contracts. We've chosen all with our soul team, our soul players who are descending as well, how we're going to learn from each other, teach each other, be taught by each other, go through the issues and stuff together for the purpose of our soul group expansion. Okay? So now we've split and we enter the Earth's game. So as I said, you have a twin flame that is your absolute, complete identity counterpart. You are matched identically in all ways. You have been birthed as one, like identical twins. But there is nothing, even slightly, that's out of balance, out of whack, slightly different between you. You are absolute as one. Okay? Now, at that point in that decision making, again, according to the contract that you have made, you may or may not enter. You may choose, your contract might be just to assist the ascension. This was the original fall from grace where you would have both entered. Since then, you've played the game according to your choice as split entities of the one. Now, I hope this is making sense. So we came down together, we split, we entered, we did our stuff, and over many, many incarnations we've devolved and devolved even more. But we haven't always come back together, right? So now in this lifetime, we tend, and this is the point I really wanted to get across today, we have this nice illusion or emotion attached to our twin flame being the one for us, that this is it, and when we find this person, as I said, we'll be whole, we'll be balanced, we'll be complete, and it'll be lovely, and it'll be happy families and harmonious, and won't it be great? No, not necessarily. Okay, now there's a few reasons to this again. You may be here on Earth and your twin isn't. It may be still in spirit world. It may be completely on the other side of the earth. It may be in the form of a friend. It may be in the form of a parent. It may be in the form of a baby. It may be in the form of anything. Because again, each soul at this individualized level is choosing the journey. So we don't actually know necessarily where our twin may be, if it's here or if it's not. Now, I want to go back to the next part, or go back, sorry, not to the next part, but go back to where I said we had our 6 established twin flame set. So the other 5 that we came and were birthed through in that grouping of 6 from our oversoul, those other 5 sets are what we call our near twins. Now, those near twins are very, very similar in our identity and energetic makeup matrices to us. So these may be people we may be, again, meeting, coming into contact. Okay? Then because those 6 groups of 2 make 12, out of the whole 144 of your monad group, there is another 132 other souls left over who are then part of your soulmate group. So they are another extension, but are less similar to you. And all these numbers make up the 144 of your soul family light group. Now, do we know our twin flame when we meet them? Well, I absolutely say yes, you do. Because if you can only imagine that the flame that blazes and is held within your heart, when it matches identically to its true counterpart, you can't not but know. And I'm going to be really honest here and up front that I know I have met mine. Are we together? No, we're not. You know, in this lifetime, this contract was not meant for us to be, and that's fine. You know, I had to work through that and understand that, go through all my fears and doubts and all my, you know, wanting and yah. But I have released that and I've allowed it to be with the surrender and, as I've said to my God, knowing that I will allow and I will continue to fulfill all my contracts to assist my personal ascension, to get me into my higher energetic frequency loads, knowing at the same time whatever I do and how much effort I put in, I know my twin flame is getting that equally, and vice versa. Okay, so even if that person for you may not even be awake or be a baby, let's say, the more work you do consciously, and if you are awake, it is your duty, it is your alignment to source, your contract and agreement to expand and know and work as much of this as you can, evolving yourself absolutely, moving out of fear back into love. And as you do, the vibrations that you gain instantly raise that other beautiful twin flame with you, whether you know them or not. Okay, it happens. This still also happens for those in your group because you have very similar energies, because you've come from the same source again. Okay, so we're always working for many as we choose to work. It's really important to know this, because we're not ever just doing anything for ourselves. So we're working for many across the planet that may be, again, incarnated or not, be it here or across the veil, but our energies, they assist us, we assist them. It's a mutual synergistic system, okay? Now, can you meet with other people, and how do you distinguish the soulmates and twin flames? I always feel that, you know, a really close soulmate to me, someone that I've have that near twin experience with, and I feel I've met a few of those as well, again, are people that I've just instantly resonated to and have this overwhelming love, this frequency of knowing them without knowing them, this attachment, this resonance, this harmony, that again, even whatever they do, it doesn't matter. It's like I have unconditional love for them, and I may not understand even why, but I may see them do some very physical 3D lower ego aspects. I understand it, I can send them love, but there is no judgment. You know, I don't react. I have nothing about this. It's almost like I just love you regardless. You know, however I see, whatever I see, I just simply love you. And for me, they would be the near twin experiences, those resonance and harmonics in play. Then we have those 132 soulmates that are out there in our family as well. Now, I feel a lot of those 132 are our karmic souls. They're the ones we've played many games, we've changed roles, interplayed, you know, we've come in interface with each other, but there's resolutions, there's karmic balances and debts to be repaid. The pool's not as strong. It's like, you know, you can imagine you're just kind of, densifying that love frequency. You've had a lot of games with these people. Again, you might meet them. Some, again, might be the near twins. Some might just be, yeah, like, you know, we're here together, and things could change between you. You might have been really angry at times to start with. You might have hated them to begin with, and then you shift. We're just playing roles there. It's more of a game than at that upper level. And can I also say too, even at the twin flame level, you know, if you do come to connect with your twin flame in this lifetime, it's not necessarily all, you know, beer and skittles. Because remembering, as you originally split, let's say at the fall, where we all descended, and this has been many lifetimes in this descension program, that, you know, each of you has had varying experiences and lifetimes, and each of you has evolved your soul or not evolved your soul, descended lower than the other, vice versa. So each of us, each of you, is now in the process of that shift and change. And a lot of twins, and I do know twins that have come together, that have really struggled. And it's sad when you know they're twins, but it's not sad at the same time, because you know each soul has to do their thing for the ultimate of the coming together up here, where all debts, all karma, all fear is literally absolved through the heart into the highest light. So we're all in this transition of the walk. We're all in this transition of light, from fear into the light. And until those frequencies are adjusted, the transition takes place and we evolve. As I said, we do our work, we move forward, we keep aiming to reach the highest point of love and light that we can in this lifetime. We can't meet our twin, truthfully. you know? And unless we're of that 5-dimensional frequency and above, that simply won't connect, because if you met now with these lower frequencies in play, the vortex of energy that when two twins come together truthfully can be explosive and literally would blow fuses in your body. So again, we've got this incredible intelligence from the higher oversouls, from the higher monad, that's overseeing us to ensure that we can ascend gracefully, that we can do our work, we can truthfully evolve as we're meant to without blowing the system. And yes, when you come together, what I found with the twin I believe is my twin, and he is in an opposite, a male form in this lifetime. It's been incredible. At every major moment of my life, really poignant moments, randomly he's appeared, absolutely out of the blue, never ceased to fail, never ceased to amaze me. We never ever discussed anything at this level, but the last time that there was this connection was a really powerful energetic shift that took place through us that was undeniable. Let's just say that. It was ridiculously undeniable, even to the point where we were having a chat about where we were living, and I just moved to Coffs Harbour and we're discussing what was going on, and he had said, look, I was thinking of moving. I knew straight away where he was thinking of moving, and when I asked, he said, I was going to go to Coffs Harbour. And I just thought, well, I said, you don't have to. I went. And again, this is what the twin flames do, and this is why we're not necessarily in the same location, because our soul purpose and mission is the same at the highest level. How we play that out, how we remember that is different. But there will be those interlocking, interfacing times where the soul is reading the same message, having the same message. But again, at this level, the contract, as we may discuss it in the highest level, we say, I'll do that, you don't need to. And again, we're each time working through our talk, because maybe this is the energy for me that I had to go through. He really didn't need that energy. Yours might be doing the same. Another example I give you is when I went to America, and this was back in 2009. And I was coming home, and I was getting my second connection flight from Utah to LA. And how it worked out was I took an emergency seat and I sat down, and I had this man beside me. He was Canadian. And there was an incident on the plane about a blind lady and her dog, and we both, I could feel his energy, I could feel him reading me, I was reading him, you could just feel this unspoken language. And as we were sitting on this plane, this poor lady wasn't allowed on because of her dog. I don't know why, but anyway. And then that's what got our conversation started, and we were just talking about the injustice and humanity and da-da-da-da. So anyway, how this then took off was, I have not had a conversation like this. It was like, again, I knew this man from forever. I'd literally just met him. We talked about everything. It was like we condensed so much information into that hour-and-a-half flight I think we had. We didn't stop to eat or drink. We just, it was like we had to download and upload and just connect and get everything that we could possibly say and do and resonate and vibrate and blah, blah, blah. And I really believe this guy was a near twin for me. And at the end of it, it was so much joy. There was just so much joy with this man. And, you know, there was, again, this feeling of this connection that I knew here, like, I don't have anything sexual for you. I'm not interested in you. But it's not about that. It's the heart just going, oh, I know you, you know, I so know you. And then as we landed and he was heading to LA, I was heading to my next, you know, flight home. And we got off and we got separated. And I remember that, oh, my heart sort of went, oh my God, I didn't get to say goodbye, you know, and I felt really, really sad, and there were all these people in the way, and I trudged up the gangway. And as I got out the end, here he is waiting for me with the biggest smile on his face. And he was married, you know, had a family. I know all about the life. And as I got up there, I've never felt such joy again to see him standing waiting for me. And he just said, I can't leave you. I can't leave without... He said, I know this is going to sound weird, and there was probably, I don't know, maybe 20 years difference between us, 15, 20 years in age. And he said, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but he just said, I just have to hug you. And I said, I know, me too. And we just hugged and 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 the end of that, and all these people in the airport. And then we just stood there and we said, can we connect? And we took each other's emails then, because mobiles weren't really, that great. And I'll never forget when I came home, I thought about him and we talked about my CD I'd done at the time. So I sent him one. He was in a similar line. He was doing spiritual work through business, avenues. And then I'd sent him an email and I hadn't heard back. And I thought, oh well, that's okay. Life moves on, keep moving. And I'll never forget, it was a few weeks later and I woke up really early in the morning and I just went, oh, and I knew he'd emailed me. And I raced downstairs really early. I punched into the computer, up came the email. And again, that joy that I felt where we just had this beautiful conversation. And I knew then that was the end of our contract now. And it was like, we did what we had to do. We came together, but it wasn't a twin flame. I really feel he was a near twin. It was just so amazingly beautiful. I've never felt the joy that I felt with him. And I often think about him, and as I think about him, I just send love, and I'm sure, it's a mutual thing. You can't dissociate it, and there's nothing wrong with it. And again, we've got to work through guilt and all this rubbish, this is really lower ego stuff, to know that we're here for that higher purpose. So again, many of us are with our soulmates, okay, at that level, playing out the old, with that journey to move through with the intention to either meet our near twin, which might be just as wonderful, or ultimately to our twin flame level. That's the purpose of what we're here on earth to do. And the purpose and the only way to reach that state is through your awakening, through your intention of consciousness to expand and evolve and raise yourself from fear back into love and into truth. So as I said, anything that's less than love or truth, less than joy, less than happiness, less than the abundance that is yours eternally and your sovereign right, then there is work to do with your lower ego. Simple as that, okay? So it's about the balance. As we're balanced, as I said, as you work, you are raising it for many. And even let that be your guiding light, because how beautiful is it to think that as I evolve and as I learn something, and as I know that I jump a grade or I jump an energy chain or a line of communication, I'm doing that for many, and I am assisting many right now. And our soul groups are unique. So again, you can have soulmates all over the world. You can have your near twins all over the world. They can be within or without, depending on the contract that they have. So I hope that gives clarity. And I think I said there's no mistaking your twin. I'm just checking because I did make some notes so that I've given you everything. I hope that kind of helps. Yeah, I think that's pretty well covered it. I don't want to go into it too much and to confuse you. So it's always good having this on video, which is why I did it as well, because it's good to replay, to just go over things if you need it. But that beautiful graph, I think, is a great way of understanding who you really are and what this whole family of light's about. So if there's any questions, you can flick them up here if you want now while I'm here, or you can message through the page. So thanks whoever's out there. I think I saw Tracy, Josh, Kath I saw, Elisa. I don't know anybody else. So, again, I took a random time through the day to give this and put it out. So yeah, don't get too obsessed. Let the notion of who your twin flame is, and again, it could be in male to male form, female to female form. It doesn't matter. It could be the child, the baby, the mother, not here again. Let's not look at this as an emotional fix. Your twin flame is not here to fix you, and it won't make your life better. Only you will. Okay? So again, you still have your work to do regardless of your twin. And just enjoy those beautiful moments where you may meet your soulmates, or you may meet your near twins. They are special moments, absolutely. And surrender your personal desire of what you need or think you need to your higher self, your divine monad, your I am presence, and ask it to take charge and to send to you the guiding light, all the beings, and make your intention that if it is in highest divine accord, that you meet with these amazing people, because you are incarnated here on earth to meet with your highest soul group now, to complete missions and fulfill your true soul purpose contracts. So with that, have a lovely afternoon, and I hope this made some sense. And lots of love and light wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.